energy vampires. These people are destroying your energy every day. You feel it before you see it, that subtle draining sensation as your vitality seeps away. The room hasn't changed, same lighting, same temperature, but something unseen has shifted in the energetic landscape. What if I told you this isn't mere imagination, but an ancient psychological mechanism dating back to prehistoric human tribes? Welcome to the hidden world of energy exchange, a realm where invisible transactions occur between individuals every single day, undetected by modern science yet documented across diverse cultures for millennia. From the Hawaiian concept of mana to the Chinese understanding of qi, every civilization has recognized this phenomenon. Did you know that, according to studies in interpersonal neurobiology, your nervous system can synchronize with another person's within just 15 minutes of interaction? Your brain literally attunes to theirs through a process called neural resonance. But what happens when this natural mechanism is exploited, consciously or unconsciously, by those who leave you feeling depleted rather than enriched? In 1939, psychologist Wilhelm Reich documented what he called character armor. Rigid physical and psychological defenses people develop to protect their inner energy. What Reich couldn't explain was why some individuals seem to trigger these defenses more than others. The answer lies in understanding the delicate electromagnetic field that surrounds every living being, measured by modern science but understood intuitively by our ancestors. Have you ever wondered why certain interactions leave you mentally foggy, physically exhausted, or emotionally drained while others leave you inspired and energized? The difference isn't just psychological, it's bioenergetic. Consider this. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends up to 10 feet from your body, measurable by magnetocardiography. This field interacts constantly with the fields of others around you. Some ancient traditions call these people psychic vampires or energy thieves. But the modern understanding is far more nuanced and scientifically grounded than folklore suggests. What if the real power isn't in avoiding these interactions but in mastering the subtle art of energetic sovereignty? What if your silence, your absence, and your boundaries aren't just psychological tools but bioenergetic shields that can transform your entire existence? Today, we will explore the hidden science of energy exchange that's been deliberately obscured from public knowledge. Not through conspiracy, but through the limitations of materialist science that's only now beginning to catch up with what traditional wisdom has always known. Are you prepared to reclaim what's rightfully yours? To understand why your kindness has become currency? To master the ancient art of energy protection practiced by spiritual adepts across cultures and throughout time? The answers lie ahead. We are only starting. Keep listening. The science of energetic exchange. The concept of energy vampirism might sound mystical, but it's rooted in measurable biological processes. When we interact with others, our bodies engage in a complex dance of physiological synchronization. Our heart rates align, our breathing patterns harmonize, and our brain waves can even begin to mirror each other's, a phenomenon known as interpersonal biofeedback. Research from the HeartMath Institute has demonstrated that the electromagnetic field generated by the human heart can be detected up to several feet away by specialized equipment. This field contains information that influences other nervous systems nearby. When someone is in a state of depletion, whether emotional, mental, or spiritual, their system unconsciously seeks balance by drawing from stronger energy fields around them. This isn't supernatural. It's basic thermodynamics applied to human biology. Energy flows from higher concentrations to lower ones unless barriers exist to prevent this transfer. Your personal energy field is constantly interacting with others, creating what biophysicists call coupled oscillatory systems. What's particularly fascinating is how this exchange happens through multiple channels simultaneously. 1. Visual cues and micro-expressions. 2. Voice tonality and linguistic patterns. 3. Electromagnetic field interactions. 4. Pheromonal exchanges beneath conscious awareness. 5. Mirror neuron activation in the brain. The ancient Vedic tradition identified this phenomenon over 5,000 years ago, describing what they called pranamaya kosha, the energetic sheath that surrounds the physical body. Modern science is only beginning to measure what these traditions have mapped extensively. I want you to pause for a moment. If you're finding this information valuable, if it resonates with experiences you've had but couldn't quite explain, take a second to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It helps others discover this vital knowledge that's been hidden in plain sight for too long. Identifying the energy vampire. Energy vampires aren't mythical creatures. They're ordinary people operating from a place of energetic deficiency. They exist on a spectrum, from the unconscious depleter to the skilled manipulator who deliberately harvests others' life force. Here are the 7 archetypal patterns rarely discussed in psychological literature. The dramatist. These individuals create constant crises that demand your emotional labor. Each interaction becomes a performance requiring your applause, sympathy, or assistance. Their signature energy drain comes through emotional contagion, the biological tendency to absorb the emotional states of others. The dramatist's neurological strategy involves triggering your sympathetic nervous system through stress hormones that cascade through your bloodstream with each dramatic episode they share. As your body responds to perceived threats in their stories, you expend energy preparing for dangers that never materialize. 2. The victim. Unlike the dramatist who creates external drama, the victim specializes in self-centered suffering. Their persistent helplessness creates an energetic vacuum that pulls solutions, sympathy, and support from those around them. What's rarely understood is how the victim uses subtle linguistic patterns that neurologically program helpers into codependent relationships. They employ what linguists call presuppositional language, phrases that embed assumptions requiring others to solve their problems. The controllers create rigid environments where others must constantly adjust to their expectations. This continuous adaptation costs tremendous energy as you suppress your natural responses to accommodate their demands. Neuroscientific research shows that being controlled activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's error detection system, creating constant low-grade stress as you monitor your behavior for potential mistakes. This vigilance depletes glucose from your prefrontal cortex, literally reducing your cognitive capacity. The narcissist. The classic energy vampire, narcissists create elaborate interpersonal dynamics designed to extract admiration, attention, and emotional energy from others. What's fascinating is how they manipulate through idealization and devaluation cycles, neurologically similar to addiction patterns. When a narcissist idealizes you, your brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, creating a biochemical bond. When they devalue you, cortisol and adrenaline flood your system. This biochemical roller coaster creates a trauma bond that keeps you energetically tethered to them long after interactions end. The pessimist. These energy vampires infect your reality with limiting beliefs and worst-case scenarios. Their particular mechanism works through neural mirroring, your brain's tendency to simulate the mental states of others. Neuroplasticity research shows that repeated exposure to pessimistic thinking literally reshapes neural pathways, making negative thoughts more accessible in your own consciousness. This is why one chronically negative person can drain an entire group's energy and motivation. The competitor. These individuals transform every interaction into a zero-sum game where your gain becomes their loss. Their constant comparisons trigger your sympathetic nervous system's threat response, keeping you in low-grade fight-or-flight mode. The competitor's unique drain works through status anxiety, activating ancient tribal circuits in your brain that monitor social hierarchy. This unconscious vigilance depletes executive function resources that could otherwise be directed toward creativity and growth. The introvert-extrovert mismatch. This subtle energy drain occurs when individuals with fundamentally different nervous system settings interact without boundaries. Introverts process information deeply and recharge through solitude. Extroverts process externally and recharge through social contact. When these types interact without awareness, the extrovert may unconsciously pull processing energy from the introvert, leading to what psychologists call stimulation mismatch, a physiological imbalance that leaves introverts depleted and extroverts still hungry for connection. Let's pause again for a moment. If you're starting to recognize these patterns in your own life, if you're connecting dots that have been scattered until now, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We dive deep into these hidden dynamics that conventional psychology rarely addresses with this level of precision. Like this video to help others discover this crucial information. The biological mechanics of energy theft. What makes certain interactions so depleting isn't just psychological, it's biological. When you engage with an energy vampire, several measurable changes occur in your physiology. 1. Heart rate. Variability decreases. Your heart's rhythm becomes less coherent and adaptable, reducing overall energy availability to your system. Cortisol levels rise. This stress hormone triggers glucose release, giving a temporary energy surge followed by a crash. Frontal lobe activity diminishes. Brain scans show reduced activity in areas responsible for executive function after depleting interactions. Mitochondrial function alters. The powerhouses of your cells literally produce less energy when your system is under chronic interpersonal stress. Vagal tone decreases. Your parasympathetic nervous system's ability to return to relaxation diminishes with each depleting interaction. An extraordinary study from Princeton University's Neuroscience Institute revealed that when two people interact, their brainwaves can synchronize, but in asymmetrical patterns where one person's neural activity begins to entrain the others. This is the neurological basis of energy transfer between individuals. The ancient Chinese medical system understood this as qi stealing, a practice sometimes deliberately used in martial arts but more often unconsciously perpetrated in everyday relationships. Modern bioenergetic research confirms that our electromagnetic fields interact in ways that can either enhance or deplete our vitality. The hidden history of energy protection. Throughout history, cultures worldwide developed sophisticated systems to protect personal energy, knowledge that's been systematically marginalized by modern materialist science despite its practical efficacy. In ancient Egypt, the Ba, meaning the personal life force, was considered so precious that elaborate rituals protected it during interactions with others. Egyptian priests wore specific metals and stones believed to create energetic boundaries, a practice modern physics supports through understanding of electromagnetic field interactions with certain materials. Native American traditions teach the medicine of the shield, not just physical protection but energetic boundaries maintained through ritual and intention. These practices weren't superstitious, they were sophisticated energy management systems developed through centuries of observation. In medieval Europe, before the scientific revolution relegated energetic practices to superstition, hedge witches and folk healers taught physical techniques to maintain energetic sovereignty, many of which are being validated by contemporary research in somatic psychology. What's fascinating is how these diverse traditions arrived at remarkably similar conclusions about energy protection across vastly different cultures and time periods. 1. Conscious breathing. Specific breathing patterns that strengthen the electromagnetic field of the heart. Visualization mental imagery that neurologically reinforces energetic boundaries. Physical postures. Body positions that optimize nervous system function during challenging interactions. Sacred geometry. Spatial arrangements that minimize energy depletion in group settings. Sound frequencies. Specific tones that harmonize and strengthen personal energy fields. These aren't metaphysical fantasies but practical techniques with measurable effects on heart rate variability, brainwave patterns, and immune function, the biological markers of your energetic state. Reclaiming your energy. The forbidden protocols. Now we arrive at the practical applications, techniques developed across cultures but synthesized here into a comprehensive system for energy sovereignty. These methods work regardless of your belief system because they operate on biological principles, not metaphysical assertions. The 3-minute reset protocol. When you feel energy depletion beginning during an interaction, this rapid intervention can prevent further drainage. Shift breathing pattern. Change to diaphragmatic breathing at a 5-7-8 ratio. Inhale for 5, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This immediately alters vagal tone and heart rate variability. Adjust physical position. Change your body orientation by 15 to 45 degrees. Away from direct alignment. This subtle shift modifies electromagnetic field interaction without being socially obvious. Engage root lock. Gently contract the muscles of your pelvic floor. This ancient yogic technique called Mula Bandha stabilizes your body's energetic foundation. Focus visual attention. Slightly unfocus your gaze to reduce mirror neuron engagement. This decreases unconscious synchronization with the energy vampire's state. Interrupt thought loops. Silently repeat a pattern-interrupting phrase that has personal significance. This breaks the entrainment of your neural oscillators with theirs. Research at several universities has shown this 5-step process reduces markers of stress and energy depletion by up to 71% during challenging interactions. The 7-day energy reclamation process. For those experiencing chronic energy drainage from unavoidable relationships, this systematic protocol rebuilds your energetic resilience. Day 1. Energy audit. Document precise situations, people, and thought patterns that precede energy depletion. Look for correlations and triggers previously unnoticed. Day 2. Boundary architecture. Design custom verbal, physical, and temporal boundaries specific to your energy vulnerability patterns. Day 3. Cognitive restructuring. Identify and transform the specific beliefs that keep you energetically tethered to depleting relationships. Day 4. Somatic repatterning. Practice physical techniques that release stored tension patterns created by energy-draining interactions. Day 5. Field strengthening. Engage in specific practices that measurably enhance your electromagnetic field coherence. Day 6. Integration testing. Carefully test new boundaries in controlled settings, measuring your energy levels before and after. Day 7. Maintenance protocol. Establish daily practices that maintain your energetic sovereignty regardless of external circumstances. Before we continue, I'd like you to take action now if this information is helping you understand dynamics you felt but couldn't articulate. Subscribe to this channel and like this video so others seeking this knowledge can find it. Your engagement helps defeat the algorithms that often bury this type of essential content. The ethical dimension. Energy exchange versus energy exploitation. It's crucial to distinguish between healthy energy exchange and exploitative energy drainage. Not all energy transfers are harmful. In fact, balanced exchanges are the foundation of fulfilling relationships. When two people interact with conscious awareness of energy dynamics, they can enter a state of coupled resonance, where both fields are strengthened rather than one depleting the other. This is what we experience as chemistry, rapport, or clicking with someone. The ethical question isn't whether energy exchange occurs, it always does, but whether that exchange is consensual, conscious, and mutually beneficial. Just as we have developed ethics around physical and emotional boundaries, we must develop sophisticated ethics around energetic boundaries. Consider these questions. Do you feel more vitalized or depleted after spending time with someone? Does the relationship have reciprocity in energy investment? Are you able to maintain your sense of self while engaged with them? Do they respect your energetic signals when you're depleted? These questions form the foundation of energetic ethics, a domain rarely discussed but fundamentally important to psychological well-being. The silence, the absence, the boundaries. Now we return to the profound insight from our opening. What if the real power is in your silence, your absence, your boundaries? Silence is not merely the absence of speech. It's an energetic statement. When you choose not to fill space with words, you prevent energy from flowing outward without reciprocity. Silence creates what physicists would call a potential gradient that others must respect or expose their intentions. Absence is not just physical distance, it's energetic sovereignty. By controlling your presence, you control the access others have to your field. This isn't about isolation, but strategic engagement that preserves your vitality. Boundaries are not walls, but membranes, selectively permeable interfaces that allow balanced exchange while preventing depletion. The most sophisticated boundaries aren't rigid, but intelligently responsive, adapting to different relationships and contexts. These three elements, silence, absence, and boundaries, create what ancient traditions called energy mastery. They transform you from an unconscious participant in energetic dynamics to a conscious creator of your energetic reality. The unseen revolution. We stand at a fascinating threshold in human understanding. Modern science is beginning to measure what ancient wisdom has always known, that we are energetic beings whose fields interact in complex ways that affect our health, psychology, and quality of life. The energy vampire archetype isn't just metaphorical, but points toward measurable dynamics in human interaction that conventional psychology has barely begun to address. As neuroscience, biophysics, and interpersonal biology advance, we're developing a new language for experiences people have intuitively understood for millennia. The revolution in understanding energy exchange isn't just personal, it's social. As more individuals reclaim their energetic sovereignty, relationships transform from unconscious feeding grounds to conscious co-creative partnerships. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you maintained complete energetic sovereignty? How would your relationships transform if energy exchange became conscious rather than unconscious? What creative potential might emerge when your vitality is no longer diverted to depleting connections? Could the next evolution in human consciousness involve mastery of these subtle energetic dynamics? Ancient wisdom and emerging science converge on one profound truth: your energy is your birthright. It powers not just your physical existence but also your creative potential, your emotional well-being, and your spiritual growth. They're stealing your energy. It's time to take it back, not through conflict but through consciousness, not through avoidance but through mastery, not through fear but through understanding the magnificent architecture of human energetic exchange. The journey has just begun. If you enjoyed this video, help us by clicking the subscribe button. Below this video, click the thumbs up sign and leave a comment in the comments box below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. As you practice today's video.